And let's now rejoin Yalda, who's in Jerusalem for us this morning. Yalda.
Anna, thank you so much. And you just heard there from the minister, the key there is de-escalation. That's something we've been hearing all week from the US President Joe Biden, from Rishi Sunak and from Lord Cameron. Everybody urging de-escalation. You heard there again this attempt to try and just bring the tempo down, de-escalate the situation. We saw last weekend Iran attack Israel. Israel said all week that it would retaliate, it would respond, and now we've seen that response. Let's just remind you of what's happened this morning. Israel, as we've been reporting, has attacked Iran. Iran's state news agency reported that air defenses had been fired and explosions were heard near Isfahan International Airport in central Iran. Early indications suggest a single strike on a carefully selected target. Now, this video is from the Iranian Revolutionary Guard Telegram channel. It reportedly shows the explosions in the sky near Isfahan. Well, the impact of the attack is not yet clear, but it does appear to have been limited, and Iranian media is reporting there has been no damage to nuclear facilities. Israel warned the United States that the strike was coming. More on that breaking news story that Israel has attacked Iran. Let's speak now to Deborah Haynes, our security and defense editor. And Deborah, as I've been reporting, we've heard all week from the various leaders that the situation needs to de-escalate. And we just heard there from the minister reiterating that despite Israel now launching that attack on Iran.
Yes, and you can imagine here in the UK and capitals across the world will be holding their breath to see what happens next. Clearly, the hope has been that any response by Israel to what happened over the weekend from Iran would be limited and targeted to an extent that Iran, if it chooses to respond, does so in less a significant way as it did at the weekend. And then both sides could perhaps see some kind of ladder that they could climb down to de-escalate the tensions. But obviously, as one source put it to me, it's high-stakes poker, this kind of situation, and it could clearly go wrong if either side either misreads the signals that they are being sent, feels that the attack that they have just incurred is escalatory and feels that they need to escalate in response, or if there is some kind of mistake when this military action is taking place, because clearly whenever a side launches some kind of military attack, then there is the chance of things going wrong. And as well, you have obviously allied forces in the region, American, British, other nations, militaries, who I imagine would be on a heightened, will have been on a heightened state of alert ever since the weekend, because of course it might not be just Iran that decides to strike back, but also its proxies in the region too. So there really is a sense of wait and see, and everyone knew that this would be coming, this moment from Israel in terms of its response. And so how Iran retaliates, clearly it's trying to make it seem as if everything's normal and it didn't have much of an impact, which hopefully is a sign that maybe they won't feel the need for any escalatory response, but it really is early days at the moment.
And Deborah, we've just had some development that's come through. We're hearing that senior Iranian officials have said that they have no plans for an immediate response. All morning we've heard from Iranian state media downplaying this. We've heard reports that they have said, and we haven't been able to verify, that these were drones, that their air defenses struck down. And now we're hearing from Iranian officials saying they have no plans for an immediate response. So, as you've been saying and as we've been reporting all morning, despite the nature of this, and as you say, it feels like high-stakes poker, there is an attempt now to almost settle the bill, settle the score. Iran attacked Israel at the weekend. Israel has now responded, and it's a question of just drawing a line now on this.
Yeah, that's very significant, because that is an indication that maybe there's obviously been a huge amount of diplomacy going on behind the scenes, as well as what's been said publicly about how Israel should be restrained in its response, and clearly working on the Iranian side to ensure that any fight back is limited. And you'll remember at the beginning, Iran said that should Israel hit Iran, it would respond in an even greater degree than what happened over the weekend. So it's very significant that Iran perhaps is signalling that it's withstood this limited strike by Israel and is not seeking an immediate retaliation. But we are in a new era now because these key red lines have been crossed. Israel did choose to target an Iranian consulate, the one in Damascus, a consular building which is a protected building, which really was a new red line in terms of the actions that Israel is willing to take against Iran, which clearly poses a huge threat to Israel. And then Iran has crossed that red line too by striking directly at Israel. And Israel has in turn crossed another red line by striking back at Iran. And so with those kind of lines crossed, it does mean that should tensions flare again, it could very quickly escalate into direct confrontation to a much greater degree than perhaps it had been in the past.
And Deborah, we're hearing reports as well that Antony Blinken, the US Secretary of State, is going to hold a briefing at the G7 Foreign Ministers Summit. So we will have a US response as well. As we've been reporting, senior Iranian officials have told Reuters that after the reported strike by Israel, that there is no plan for immediate retaliation, no clarification as well on who is behind the incident. That's what the Iranian official has said. They've said that there's no clarification on who is behind this incident, but they say there is no plan for immediate retaliation. So, as you say, a significant development there, and we are also being told that the US Secretary of State Antony Blinken is holding a briefing at the G7 Foreign Ministers Summit. So the United States is going to be responding shortly, I believe, in about a few hours' time from now. So as soon as that happens, we will be bringing that to you live. Deborah, for now, thanks so much for all of that analysis.